Hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Sarah. We are back for another 2-week wrap up. I didn't read hardly anything a couple weeks ago. I can't tell you why. Week was kind of a blur. You know what? That's okay. It happens. I will say the lighting might be a little weird today. I started my new project. Longtime viewers may know I always have a project of some sort going on right now. It's a DIY. I am putting privacy film, if you can tell what this is, on some of the windows down here. So the lighting may be changing. It may be different. I have one window done and I have 2 left to do. So the lighting's different. That is why. I do have a few things to talk about. I'm going to try to keep this short because I'm in that like productivity mood, get it done. So the things that I have read. The one book that I read last week and finished was Bunny Girl Evolution, which was a complete whim of a pickup. Let me scoot over. Oh, that chair was loud. I think I'm going to try and cut that out. Bunny Girl Evolution by Sir Bedivere the Mad, whoever that is. This was just a lit RPG pickup on KU. I thought it looked cute and I was like, you know what? I love bunny girls, cat girls, whatever. And I like the trope of isekai reborn in a creature body, right? If you've seen reincarnated as a slime, that sort of thing, I absolutely adore that trope. And in this one, our main character, Elise, is reborn somehow. Something happens and she wakes up as a bunny, and she has an extremely high charisma, which means things see her and automatically want to eat her or talk to her or something, and she's just trying to survive. It was okay. I gave it, I think, a 2.5, 3. I feel like it was a bit repetitive and it was overly long. The book was 630 pages and it absolutely could have been 400. It could have been maybe even 300 if you really wanted to trim it down. So it was fine. It was fun for like late night when my brain was fried and I was tired. It was fun to pick up and read, but I don't know that I would recommend it. I will continue the series because the world was very interesting. There were some very cool ideas, and this plays with the idea of, with a very high charisma score, what does that mean for the person who doesn't want to manipulate people, right? So if you play a lot of video games or tabletop games like D&D, you'll know that charisma-based stuff often leads you into manipulation and coercion classes. Elise especially does not want to do that, so it's kind of playing with that idea of how do you avoid that. So it's interesting. I want to give it another book just to see what happens. I then finished, let's talk about the other 3-star I finished, and we'll talk about the 2 that I really liked. I finished The Whistler by Nick Medina. This comes out, I believe, in September. This is his new book. I didn't know that this is part of a kind of series he has. Indian Burial Grounds, I think, was the first book, and this is loosely tied to that. There is a character in that book that features in this book, and this focuses in on Henry, who was an amateur ghost hunter. He was getting super popular on TikTok, and it was kind of his obsession, but then something happens and it changes his life drastically. He ends up in a position where he cannot so easily ghost hunt. His life has been completely upended. He has to move in with his grandparents, and he is struggling with this new reality that he has. And it is him, but also he did something. I'm trying to figure out how to say this. He did something on his last ghost hunt that he shouldn't have. Now, if you're any at all familiar with the old saying of "don't whistle at night," you can kind of, figure out what it was he did, and he's being haunted by that. So I really like this. I really like the idea of this for a few reasons. I am from Appalachia. I live in the southern Appalachia mountains, and like the thing here is that is a thing, like a straight face thing that you grow up being told is don't whistle at night. You'll let something in. You'll call something to you. So like, yeah, my folks aren't superstitious. We're just a little stitious, they might say. So it's, it's a thing you've heard growing up. So it plays with that idea. I liked how it takes a look at like amateur ghost hunting because I love that sort of thing. And I really liked the way he was writing his scary stuff early in the book. The first chapter is terrifying. But the book really focused in hard from that in on Henry and his mental health and his getting used to life as it has changed drastically. And it just started to really deter from what I was there for. I fully recognized there was a lot of good stuff there. It had a great message. It had a struggle that people deal with, but I went in reading for the spooky. If I wanted what I got, I would have actually picked up, like, it read more contemporary fiction almost. So there's that. It was only 368 pages, but because of how much we spent with Henry and how drawn out that felt, it felt like it was as long as Bunny Girl Evolution. Like, it felt like a 500-page book. When I was writing down my statistics in my journal and I wrote 368, I was like, that's nuts, because it felt like way longer than that. So I gave it a 3. It wasn't my favorite thing. I might try Nick Medina one more time, but it's not a good showing on that one. It wasn't what I was looking for, and that's okay. I did finish, though, the 2 books that I finished. Let's get this one because it's quick. I finished Kimetsu Academy Volume 6, which is the last book in the Kimetsu Academy series. This is the spin-off series from Demon Slayer. Now, in a stark juxtaposition to Demon Slayer, this has very little to no stakes. It is only for the vibes and the fun, and it is just cute. The entire manga is in this chibi art style here, where they look very small, and it is about the Hashira and the Slayers and the demons in like a new kind of world where they're all going to school. And it's just for fun, and that's all it is. I love these. They are delightful little brain breaks. It's just a fun little series. The artwork cracks me up at times. There are panels in this where they're making faces that are just so funny. Trying to see if I can flip to one. You can kind of see it here with Zenitsu's face. Just fun stuff, man. So I'll finish that. It's the last one. Sad day. So I'm going to probably, now that this series is done, I'm going to try to focus in on catching up on Rooster Fighter, which, oh, that was loud. Catching up on Rooster Fighter, which the anime for that comes out very soon. I am very excited. But finally, the last thing that I finished and I loved was Words of Power by Shami Stovall. This was so good. So this is about Riemann. I was going to call him something else. Riemann. Riemann? I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce that, but he is working at a sort of brothel. He was raised there, and at the beginning of the novel, he ends up accidentally, assisting in the death of a what's called a ring warlock. These are individuals who put on these black rings, say 6 different words, and those words bind them to a certain spirit that grants them power. And there are only so many rings, and they all work for the king, and they all have to work together, and they're not generally nice people, right? They're generally horrible people because power-thirsty, hungry people go for these rings to do these deals. And he ends up with a ring, and he says some words, and he gets a deal, and he makes a bargain, and he becomes a ring warlock, but he is a little unusual in his practice of ring warlocking. And he leaves the brothel, it's not a brothel. He called it something else. It's more high-end. He ends up leaving and going to the ring warlock he helped kill, his place, and he starts taking over. Like, he has to take over the seat of power and begin to change the area, make it suit him, that sort of thing. Fantastic. Shami Stovall's writing style is just very bingeable for me. I like her writing so much, and I loved our main character because he is such inherently a good person. It was refreshing, especially in a world where a lot of really evil people have these powers that we've seen so far, and I liked that. Now, the big sell point for me is going to be the big turn-off point for a lot of people, and that's okay. There's a lot of emphasis on spiders, especially in this first book. So, if you don't care for creepy crawlies, if you don't care for the legs or the spiders having sentience, then you can skip this. I adore spiders. I love them very much. One of my next, I have plans to get spider tattoos. Like, that's how much I love spiders. And I taught myself that. I learned myself out of my programmed arachnophobia as an adult, right? So I was terrified of spiders as a kid because my mother was terrified of spiders. And then I taught myself about spiders and learned otherwise. And this kind of had that same feel. Like, he understands that spiders aren't out to hurt him, and at the beginning of the novel you see him helping a small spider out of the house, and like, I don't know, I loved it. The characters were fun. We had a lot of interesting personalities. The mother demon character you meet about halfway through, she was my favorite. I love her absolute, like, she is what I would definitely consider chaotic neutral, in that she has one goal. And you know what? Damn everybody else, but she's willing to, if you can help her, she'll help you. Like, she was delightful. Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic book. Highly recommend if you like progression fantasy. This is for you. That's what this is. It's progression fantasy epic, as the top says. It's from Atheon Publishing. It's just an indie publisher, and the audiobook, I believe, is out. If it's not out, it's coming out. Usually they put out audiobooks a little after the main publishing, I believe. But the book is out, so please pick this up if you have not, if you like progression fantasy. It's great. So, what I am reading, we're at 12 minutes? We're doing pretty good. I'm moving fast. This week and last week, I am churning through A Stone of Farewell, and as you can see, I am nearly done. I think my Kindle says 13% left, so I will finish this. If I don't finish it today, I will finish it tomorrow. I'm really enjoying it. I'm not enjoying it as much as the first one. The first one, the writing was a little more to what I liked. He was using some turn of phrase in the way he was presenting things a little bit more in a way that I enjoyed it. And this one had a very slow start, but I am enjoying it. So I will be continuing most definitely. And there's going to be a live show for this on Saturday. Nope, there's going to be a live show on this on Sunday, with me and a bunch of other people reading it. I know at least 2 or 3 people didn't like it, which is fine. It's absolutely fine, but it is a classic epic fantasy. If you like classic, dense epic fantasy, this is for you. Give the series a try. The first book is, and I do this every time, the series name is Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn, and the first book is The Dragonbone Chair. This is the second book, The Stone of Farewell. Now, when I finish that, I am going to return to Dawn May. I'm still working on the 3rd Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation. I am also almost done with this one. I am probably like 60% of the way through this, because this last chunk back here is the appendix. I will finish this very quickly, probably the first day that I sit down to read it in any amount of time. And then that's it that I have on the go. I did join Robin, I think Robin is running it. What is it? Arc August. I am trying to do Arc August. I have only completed one arc, and that was The Whistler. I have gotten a bunch more arcs, though. I'm not entirely sure why, as I haven't really been turning in anything, but I have been kind of inundated with arcs, it feels like. So let's look really quickly. I'm just going to throw a title and a cover up here for you. I recently was emailed about Oxford Blood, which is a YA thriller. I have that downloaded. I got an email from Orbit for a Fae in Finance. I also have that downloaded. I am reading Vagabond, which is Tim Curry's memoir. Vesselus by Courtney L. Wynn. I think this was an indie romantasy that has been traditionally picked up, but I have an arc. I have, let's see, there was another one. Oh, the House of something? Hold on. Oh, it's back there somewhere. House of Bane and Blood. The traditional version of that has been released, but they sent me the arc now. I think it came out in June, but I just got the arc, so I don't know what's up with that, but I have that. I have Hollow by Karina Halley. Don't know anything about that. I don't even actually know that I've read Karina Halley, so we'll see. I don't know if, I think The Griffin King by Sarah Omer is new as well. What else have I gotten? Spellcaster by Jamin Eve. I'm telling you, I've gotten too many. And I think that's the last one. I did get denied for the new Alona Andrews that comes out next year, and I am deeply sad, but that's okay. I will just buy it. I was going to buy it anyway. So, sad day there. And finally, my last note of business. I got mail this is like my first like PR package, kind of. It came branded. It's the first time I've seen that, and I don't actually remember requesting this. So there's that as well. I don't know exactly how I got this, but here we are. I am very happy to have received it, and that is Yuli. Shake Shake. Yuli by S.J. Jones. This is the third book in a series that is on my TBR. I do own the first one, and the second one is coming to me. And this is from what I have been told, like a YA fantasy Sailor Moon novel. So I'm down to try it. Again, I don't know why I got this. It came from Macmillan, according to the box, and it came with this cool artwork, which I'm probably gonna keep. Gonna be honest, especially if I like the book. It's very pretty. So yeah, I will probably be picking up this series. This comes out on the 20th. So if you are reading this or interested in it, please keep your eyes peeled for it. Absolutely stunning cover. It says, the little bit on the back here says, please, Yuli had never bagged anyone before, and the agony of it was as pleasurable as it was shameful. She would get on her knees if it meant having Ko at her side. Please. Who knows? But yes, I'll be reading those as well. And that is it for this Friday Reads. Like I said, you can catch me on Sunday with a whole bunch of people. I will post Erin's announcement in the community tab here on the channel. You can catch us there Sunday. And hopefully I will be back next Saturday with more books, a few more books now that I have finished, once I have finished Stone of Farewell, because that book is taking me forever. That is it. Thanks so much for watching, y'all. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye.